So let me get this straight. 14s decided to go. So let me get this straight. A teenager decided to kidnap a classmate. A teenager decided to kidnap one of his classmates by going to the suburbs where he lived and then stealing a van, putting him inside the van, or convincing him to get inside the van. Stealing a van. So a student went to... So let me get this straight. A student decides to have a classmate. So let me get this straight. A black teenager decided to lure one of his white teenagers to Chicago once he stole a van, and then once they got him to the west side of Chicago. So a teen decided to kidnap one of his... So a teen decided to kidnap one of his classmates. He basically stole a van, convinced his mentally disabled classmate to come to the west side of Chicago into an apartment, and come back to the west side of Chicago, where they lured him into this apartment, where they proceeded to tie him up, make him drink toilet water, and scalp him. Literally scalp him. And in the middle of all this, they had the great idea, wow. And in the middle of all this, they had the great idea to be like, yo, we are really committing a lot of crimes right now. You know what we should do? Let's put it on Facebook so the whole world can see us commit these fucking crimes. You goddamn dummy. So of course he goes online, and the young lady is with her phone showing all these horrible acts that they portray on this young man. It lasts for about 30 minutes. And now, of course, so after they do all these horrible things to this guy, they just basically let him go. He just walks out the front door. I guess they had their fill, and not to mention, it's very, very cold in Chicago. So they get this guy, they tie him up, they take a knife and they cut his clothes off. Then they made him drink toilet water. And then they scalped him. In the middle of cutting his head, they just scalped him a little bit. Blood coming down and everything. And I would say it was an accident, but then the guy said this. So apparently he doesn't give a fuck that he cut the guy's skull down to the bone. And while all of this is going on, one of them had a bright idea like, we are committing a lot of crimes. You know what we should do? Let's make sure the whole world sees it. For some reason, I think that they forgot that the police are part of the whole world. So of course, so they let this guy go, and as he's walking down the street, the police notice something wrong. So they let the guy go, and he's walking down the street, and the police look at him, and it doesn't take them long to recognize, hey, here's a white guy on the west side of Chicago with his clothes all ripped up and his head bleeding. I think there might be something wrong with this picture. So they get the guy, and the guy immediately takes him back to the house where he was just brutalized, and they proceed to arrest 2 women and 2 men. 2 young women and 2 young men. Well, they proceed to arrest 2 young women and 2 young men. Now, to say these people are stupid is like, it's an insult to all stupid people. These are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Almost. There were some people just as dumb as them, but I'll get to them in a second. Let's keep on with these dumbasses back here. So of course they were able to match the video up with the actual footage and the story that were told. It's online so everybody can see it. The guy, turns out, was mentally disabled, and or he was a special needs, as they put it on the news. He was someone with special needs, and he's now home safely with his parents. He's very traumatized, as I could imagine it would be to be fucking kidnapped and tortured by some people who I'm guessing he thought were cool with him. If they were able to lure him back to Chicago, I'm guessing they, at some point he was like, you know what, you guys are cool. Maybe I will go to the west side of Chicago with you. I don't know why he did that, but like I said, he was mentally he was a special needs young teen. He was a special needs young teen. He was a young man with special needs. So there you have it. So of course, these are the worst people in the world. These are the scum of the earth, and the most horrible thing in the world needs to happen to them. Whatever that is. They need to go to jail. They need to get scalped. They need to get raped by a whale dick with AIDS. Whale's dick have AIDS? They need the worst shit in the world to happen to them. But let's stick with it just there. Because there are people online saying that... because there's people online saying that this is all Black Lives Matter. And they're trying to group the fact that these young men and women did this horrible act to this person with special needs. And it's a horrible thing. And they're trying to group Black Lives Matter into that situation. And it's just not the case at all. One has nothing to do with the other. They're both mutually exclusive. Nothing, this one is completely different from this one. These guys yelling out fuck Donald Trump and fuck white people are not Black Lives Matter. I'm glad they didn't say Black Lives Matter. Actually, I didn't watch the whole video. I'm hoping they didn't say that shit. But the fact that people are grouping them together is what really upsets me.